Hello guys, in this video I am going to teach you how to make geometry in SpaceClaim, a very simple geometry, and then how to split geometry with the few commands. So there are two techniques. One is that I will be using some different type of the sketches, and from those sketches I will be creating some surfaces or maybe solids, and then I split the geometry by those geometrical parts. And second technique is very simple technique in which I will be creating the geometry on the sketch, and then from those sketches I will make the 5 parts, and from 5 parts I will extrude geometry, which is with the help of the pull command. So for the many things we do in the CAD softwares, they can be done with a single command in the SpaceClaim, that is the pull command here. Now let's start. And if you want to draw your geometry on the XY plane, then you have to make it a plane of the choice. Now, for example, I can make it XY plane, and you can also, if you are not able to select the plane of your choice, then you can move it as per your choice. For example, I can move it over here to 90 degrees, and then I can be in the another plane, which is my plane is going to be the Z and Y plane. So again we go back to the original plane, that is XY plane, and I will click on the plane view. And now I'm going to create the first of all the cylinder circle, and then I will pull this geometry along the length, and by that I can get the geometry of circular cylinder. And before that, if you want, you can also change the units from millimeters, they are by default, and to the meters, like here. And if I click on the center point, which is the origin point of XY plane, and then I can move it on the any side, and I can get the circular geometry or circle here. And let's say if I put the value of diameter as a 1, so I can get the circle of diameter equal to the 1 meters. And then click on the pull command. This will take you in the 3D mode, and from here select the sketch here, and then move along the Z axis in this way, and let's say put the value as a 10. So we have the cylinder of L by D is equal to 10. Length is 10 and diameter is 1, so L by D is equal to 10. Okay, so now I'm going to make the split in the geometry. So this is maybe a useful technique for making the hexa meshing and the ANSYS meshing in the workbench meshing. And for that I have to split geometry into the 4 or in fact the 5 parts. So first of all, I will be creating a plane on this face, and then just move this plane slightly from the main geometry, and click anywhere to release the command from the move. Again, be in the select command, and now select this plane, and then click on the plane view, and then select this rectangular body option here, and also tick the define rectangle from center. So this will ask you center point. So because we want that geometry should be done in a way so that we can have the uniform mesh across all sides. So that's why a rectangle which is on the same distance from all sides is necessary here. And in the CAD software, you can put the constraint to make the geometry symmetrical around the XY axis, but in this way you can have the directly symmetric geometry along the X and Y axis. So let's say I put my cylinder up to here, or this cut in the cylindrical body. And then this is my first part, and for the other parts, which will be the 4 parts in the remaining geometry of circular cylinder, I will be creating the geometry at the angle of 135 from the any side. So 135, and then press escape key, and then start directly from here with the left mouse button, press here, and then move it upward on the right side. And once you get the angle 135, click here and then press escape key, and similarly press this corner, click this corner, and make sure angle is 135, and click here. And so this should be outside this circular cylinder, and this can be anywhere. This can be here or maybe here. Again, last corner, and 135 degrees angle, click, and then escape key. And one more thing is that I'm going to create these lines also, and I will tell you why. And then now come back to this solid view. And now from here, first of all, I'm going to pull these two geometries along the length and make sure that no merge option is selected. Otherwise, the geometry will be added or this will separate geometry from this geometry here. So therefore, click on no merge and then pull it along the circular cylinder. It should be outside, some distance outside by the circular cylinder. And then click anywhere and now select combine and select the main geometry and then this geometry, and also again select the geometry to remove this geometry from here. So you can click here. Okay. So if this is not removed, then you can click 3 times on the geometry and select the solid and then remove it from the screen. And then again in a similar way we will be doing that thing on the second portion. So we have got the one portion here and then second portion here and this geometry, and select this part, and similarly again I should be deleting this part as well. If not, then I can select this part manually. So 3 times click on the left mouse button and then press delete key in this way. And the last thing is that I'm going to divide this remaining part into 3 parts. So first part will be in the center and 2 parts will be on the side. So again I will be pulling this geometry and again no merge and along the cylinder length, and then I'm going to use the combine command and select the remaining geometry here, this one and this geometry here, and also remove the geometry from the screen in this way. So keep on selecting the required geometry. If not, then again triple click and delete. So in this way we are able to create the geometry of the circular cylinder with these 5 splits, and now we can create the hexagon meshing in the ANSYS workbench. Okay, so after the first technique, now I'm going to teach you about the second technique, and it's slightly different and may be useful in some cases. So first of all, I'm going to create a circular part or circle, and this time I would be not choosing any particular plane or any particular dimension, and I just want to give you demo, so that is enough for the problem. And then orient this circle, and as we want to divide this circle into 5 parts, or the circular cylinder into 5 parts when we make this geometry into 3D by extrusion. And so before going to that extrusion part or extrude or pull command, we are going to apply these features before creating the 3D geometry. So again the same case with the center of the rectangle, and this time I will be not taking these lines outside the circle, but they should be inside, but the same angles, not the 145 but 135, and similarly on the last corner. And then click on the 3D mode. This will take you back into the 3D mode, and if you select the geometry, you can see this, although we have the 5 faces, but there's only one surface, and from one surface when we pull this geometry, we are going to get only single solid, and that's not required here. If you are going to create only a multi-zone mesh or maybe sweep mesh or maybe a tetra with the inflation of prisms, then this is good. But if you want to create the hexagon meshing or the map meshing, in that case we need to divide the geometry into 5 parts that we did in the earlier part, and therefore here I'm going to select the geometry first and right click here, and from the right click menu we have the option, first option, detach all, and from here you will get the 5 surfaces. Alright, and I'm going to pull the first one on the top and then on the bottom, so they will be not joined, so no merge, and somewhere up to here, let's say. And also I'm going to create a new plane, and let's say this geometry should be of having this length. So if you know the length, so you can place the plane at that location, but I'm just want to move this plane at some arbitrary location. And if you know the dimension of your geometry, you can set the plane at that particular location. And after doing that thing, I'm going to again pull these two sides, and again no merge, and they should be behind this plane here. And now we have these four solids, and the last thing is that I'm going to pull this square in the middle of the geometry, and again no merge command, and then maybe, but should be not should be they on the same line or same location, and they should be behind this plane here. And then we are going to use the combine command and apply them with the geometry here, and delete the part here, and again select the combine command, and then apply on the all these remaining four parts. And similarly for the third one, then the fourth one, and then the last one. Okay, one thing more here, if you take a look on the last case and this case, you can see that we have the five parts, or the five bodies, and these are the five bodies. They are ready for the hexagon meshing, but still we don't have any connection between them, right? Like we did in the, if you go through the design molder, in design molder, if you want to create connection between different parts for the meshing, we have to select these all five parts and right click on them, and then form a new part. So when we form the new part from the multiple parts, they will get the connection between each other, and the mesh will be same on the both sides of these two bodies. So in the space claim, to make them of the same connection between the mesh across the different parts, the command is slightly different, and this command known as a share. So once you click on the share, which is true if you do this with this method or with the first method, in all cases you have to apply this command. So just click on this right arrow and this tick mark here, which is in the green color, and all connections will be done automatically. If you want to select only one part, you want to create some connection at some location, you can set that part manually, but I don't think that we can be only requiring the connection between the two bodies at this location only. So we need the connection between all the bodies. So I am going to select this tick mark, and this will make the automatically connection between all the five parts. And now we are ready for the meshing. So let's say from Workbench, I can click on Workbench 2020, and this will ask me to save the file with let's say name is Slender, and this will also open the Workbench and load the geometry. Okay, so geometry has been loaded, and right click here and transfer into the new module. So this can be the meshing. And if you don't find the meshing here, you can manually do it from this toolbox. And here we have the mesh option, which is here. So just drop it on the geometry here, and then simply double click on the mesh. This will open the meshing application, and with the geometry which we created in the space claim. Okay, so now we are ready for that thing. And if you take a look on the mesh, just generate the mesh, and you can see that we have the mesh has a connection between all the five parts, and we have continuous mesh across these all parts. This is a conformal mesh, and if you don't apply that command, that is the share command, you don't be seeing any connection between these meshes. And before ending this topic on the space claim, how to create geometry from the simple sketch or first creating 3D geometry, then splitting geometry into multiple parts. The most important thing when we are working on the CFD models is that you must change the physics preference from mechanical, because for mechanical and for CFD they have fine-tuned the meshing techniques, meshing parameters. So if you are working in the CFD, you should be changing the physics preference to CFD, and this will make the things fine-tuned for the CFD purpose. And if you want to refine the mesh, you can apply the edge sizing from right click here and sizing, and just select the edges. This will be setting size on the edges, so you can refine the mesh also along these sides. And let's say if you want to create the number of divisions, so let's say it's 10, and then click on generate. So now you can see that the stain is not applied, so I can make the behavior. So if the behavior is not being applied as you want it to, then you can change the soft behavior to the hard, and now this will implement the whatever you want, even if the quality is reduced. So in this way, if you place the hard, so soft is that when the solver thinks that with that option we provided, this mesh will be of good quality, so it will opt this thing. And if thinks that the meshing will not be good, so it can change these parameters according to the requirements of the working of the algorithm. But once we change the behavior to hard, so whatever the problem is there inside, this will force our choice on the meshing.